Hi, my name is Shelby Rangel, and I am presenting today for my contribution presentation, Carrie Steele, Logan. Carrie Steele was an entrepreneur. She was a founder, and although she had no background of education, she always mirrored the social work values. Carrie Steele was born as a slave in Georgia in 1829 at a plantation. Because of this, little is known about her history until after the emancipation. Carrie Steele has no record of a birth certificate, and we do know that she was born an orphan, but little is known about her parents. And although she was a slave, Carrie learned to read and write, and with these new skills, she was able to write an autobiography to sell. After the emancipation, she served as a stewardess at the Union Station, which is pictured here, and this is where Carrie found her purpose. One afternoon, as she was cleaning the boxcars, she realized that some African American children were using one to sleep in. And as an orphan herself, she empathized with the children. So after she realized that all the children were sleeping in the boxcars, she received permission from the railroad station to place the children in a boxcar during the day so that she could look in on them. And at night, she would take all the children to her own two-bedroom home on the corner of Wheat Street and Auburn Avenue, where she gave them comfort, food, and guidance. And after taking in several kids, more and more needed her services. So it just continued to build up over time to where there was no sleeping room left in her house. She lived in a two-bedroom apartment, and she realized that her house became too small to take care of all the children that needed her help. And having to learn to read and write as a slave, she authored an autobiography and sold copies in the streets to raise money for a larger facility. And during this time, she resigned from the depot, she sold her home, and solicited donations from the community. And during this time, she also married a minister, Joseph Logan of New York, who became a partner in her work. It is unknown today whether or not they had any children of their own. With this money from the sale of the original home, plus financial support from the organizations, she was able to buy 4 acres away from the city center and erect a 3-story brick orphanage, calling it the Carrie Steele Orphan Home in 1888, which is pictured previously. It was dedicated in 1892, all built of a cost of $5,000, which had been raised by her efforts. It is the oldest black orphanage in the nation. And her service as a volunteer probation officer reinforced her beliefs that orphans often fell prey to a life of crime. So Miss Logan planned to prepare her children for adulthood, not just provide their basic needs. All attended school and established in the home and attended the regular curriculum that they were instructed in domestic service and farm work. She gave these children hope for their future. A quote attributed to Logan was published in the Atlanta Journal of Constitution in 1989. The orphanage is meant to care for and train to honest labor hundreds of the colored orphans who are growing up is material for the chain gang. When the children left the previous house that Carrie still provided, they chipped away the word orphan, pictured here, and from the building signage, because they did not want to be known as orphans. They only wanted to be known as children. After Carrie Steele died in 1900, Mr. Logan carried on her work. He remarried, although he still continued on her work. Today, the Carrie Steele Pitts home still serves as 100 or so neglected, abused, abandoned, or orphaned children. In its third location on Fairborn Road, it consists of 4 cottages, a building which houses offices and dining facilities. Carrie Steele Logan is buried in the Oakland Cemetery in Atlanta. Her gravestone is inscribed, "The Mother of Orphans. She has done what she could." What she could was a great deal for her preserving compassion, her resourceful integrity, and dedication. The orphanage was housed more than 20,000 children, and since its inception in 1888, The facility was moved to a 23-acre site in northwest Atlanta, known as the Carrie Steele Pitts home. These pictures show how far that she did come with going from a 2-story home or 3-story home to a large 23-acre property. They have, obviously, as you can see, they have 5 cottages, a dining room, 2 outdoor play areas, a pool, a gymnasium, a chapel, a computer lab, classrooms, and a kitchen. The programs that are offered now take care of up to 20 youth in the 12 to 18 years old. They have therapeutic programming, and they also have fitness and nutrition programs, adaptive supportive educational services, and they also have large community programs to education and have summer day camps and fitness programs that they continue to do to honor Carrie Steele and her progress as a social worker. The social work implications that we wanted to talk about is Carrie Steele, as her process of trying to establish her orphanage, she ultimately laid the foundation for the United Way. And through her progress, she actually opened the first African American orphanage. She continuously showed compassion, leadership, and empathy to a marginalized group. She also brought awareness about homeless African American children, which no one tried to do during that time because obviously it was through the emancipation. But Carrie Steele was a wonderful woman, and I hope that you were able to see her progress through my slideshow. Thank you.